This was
back on the Gibson again, hiking westbound. Dan's the mastermind of this trip. We're going Gibson to Benchmark. I've obviously been the end of Gibson, but I've only been north of that then, never south towards Benchmark, and from Benchmark I've only ever turned off from that bridge that goes over the Sun towards White River Pass. So we're going to be hiking that section in between. Dan's probably done it a million times before, so he knows the good camp spots and all that. So it's going to be a really cool trip. The weather's really good for April, really warm. There's a tick on Lacey. Now that tick's a couple inches under the ground under that stick right there. Seems we are disturbing their peace by coming through here. Alright, everything beyond this point now, until we get back to that one bridge, is new territory for us. So it should be cool. And that's the direction we're headed. Lots of meadows, it looks like. We've made it to camp. Beautiful spot. What a cool new way to collect firewood. This cheap old light tarp that we never use. Brought along, just loaded up and cradled it over here from all the way over there.
Self-diagnosed. Terrible this year. At least everywhere around here, they've got hit with those windstorms.
Yeah, we had a couple of situations that we had, so,
We are packed up. Start our hiking today. Some big tracks. Yeah, that's pretty big. Found an amazing campsite here in Pretty Prairie that Dan knew about. And it is primo. Got some shade. You come out here to the big meadow or prairie. This beautiful mountain here. And back this way. Got even more cool views. And that big guy starting to come back into view. And then there's some cabin over there. We'll go check out without the packs. See what's up with that. Very nice. Alright, we've collected a bunch of firewood. camp is mostly set up for everyone, and shortly we're gonna take a walk over and check out the cabin. Here's the cabin. Oh yeah, look at that. That's not a bad view for your front porch. Here are the corrals.
Actually, I'm blowing your question. Not my favorite memory, but the most indelible memory was when I almost died crossing a river. I
feel like you made a video.
I went across the first time, and the last step, I felt myself losing my balance, and I was absolutely certain I was going under. And just by some miracle, I got my trekking poles in front of me and kept from going under. So when I was coming back the next day, I knew I didn't want to wade that again. Then there was a tree across downstream, and this was flood level. So, and it was about 100 feet downstream to the South Fork of the Flathead. It was just raging. So I know I cannot fall in here. So I'm scooting across this log, and the water is hitting my feet as I'm going, and that was working okay, but then I got about 2/3 across, and there was some trees jammed in up against the log that I was scooting across, so I couldn't go any further without standing up. And I did this unbelievable adrenaline move. There's no way I could recreate it, but I had one hand on the log, and I grabbed one of those sticks and raised myself up and was able to stand on that log.
Wow.
And get across the rest of it.
Beast
With
mode.
the back on.
Yeah, yeah,
Beast mode.
yeah. So that was I never forgot that one.
What river was that?
That
Again?
was Mid Creek.
Mid Creek.
Yeah.
Well, everything about the Bob is special. But there
Yeah.
was the time on my first trip, the Chinese wall trip, where we were down by White River in the outfitters camp the next morning, and those two big ass black bears came into camp. And they didn't see us forever, and so we were all ready for them. And then they finally saw us. One just fucking bolts, and then the second one is spooked by that one bolting and runs right at us. And we had 3 guys in a line with bear spray and Joey back there filming. And
Of course.
it got close enough, he just tooted his horn, and then it fucking did a 90 and then just kind of started circling us. But he went away. But that was, I've never seen bigger black bears than that. They
They're
were
fat
fucking,
here. They get
they were
thick.
Bob Marshall.
They are. So I'll tell my story. What's up?
That's not how I thought
That's
it was
not
gonna
how it
start.
goes. Fuck, I can't. And good morning, it is day 3. Alright, we're packed up and about to head out. Pretty much the only snow we've stepped on this whole trip. It might be a bad fire year, we'll see. It shouldn't look like this in mid-April. First and only sign of bear this whole trip. Just one single track at the end. You could see claw marks. We made it back to the vehicle.
We survived!
Big old letters though.
Get your
A little
attention.
exciting.
There's some fine print.
Yep.
Yeah, feeling those ones.